Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox Chair on the show. It's all Ben and Jaffa. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, all Ox and Jaffa. I was going to say good evening, all better to myself. How are you two doing?
How you doing, all better? Evening, Ox.
It's a good night from me, and it's a good night from him, Jaffa.
That's before we get started.
How are you, Jaffa?
I'm good, Ox. Thanks. Aye, very good. Looking forward to the show. Talking about the Rangers.
How are you all there?
Smashing, mate. Absolutely smashing. Wife's off on holiday. Love it.
All right. So obviously it's spring. It's officially spring yesterday. So that'll be the golf clubs that you're playing, yeah?
No, I'm not playing at all, mate. I've not had a ball for nearly a year now.
Right. Okay. And obviously you're not playing golf because you've got an injury at the moment, Jaffa.
I'm out injured at the moment, Ox. Aye. Well, I've got a wee injury I need to attend to. Nothing like a good strap, can he sort?
Right, okay, yeah. It's never quiet in Scottish football. See the media in our game all better. I don't want to press buttons and I don't want to get you upset, but when you look at other countries, they seem to portray the game, push the game, sell the game, try and make the game better. What did they achieve for us?
Zilch, mate. Middle of a donut, nothing. Absolutely nothing. All they're interested in circulation. They don't care how they get it. Mostly, they realise that the bad publicity of the game sells the papers and gets the clickbait, whereas the good stuff Disney sell as well. So they concentrate on the negative all the time, mate. All the time.
Should they be asking Jaffa why is our game in a state and why is when you go to Motherwell and thousands are looking for tickets for the away fans, the other end of the park's absolutely empty and we don't sell our game? It's just as somebody who's got an interest in business, Jaffa, it's bizarre, isn't it?
Crazy. It's crazy, Ox. It's bonkers. There's none of it makes any sense. None of it makes any, from a spectacle sense, from a football sense. It doesn't make any business sense. It's just, it's like the most, ludicrous business decision ever from running a football, game, match, and even taking it further to the league. Motherwell are not the only culprits, Ox. Nigh on every team in the league. Is that the same carry on? Can he understand it? Can he work it out? And there's nobody is held to account. There's no accountability, no discussion, no asking why. The league aren't asking why. Why are you doing that? There's thousands of fans want to pay good money to get into the game. Why would you not let them into the game? No, we don't want them in the stadium. We want to keep our end of the stadium half empty.
Half empty? I think you're being generous, mate. Yeah.
Aye. I saw it. I know it was unbelievable. I mean, ridiculous.
I don't get it, Albert. I really don't. No.
It's quite simple, mate. It's hatred. It's just hatred. I've said it before and I'll keep on saying it. Scottish football hating itself to death. That's what it's doing, mate. It's not getting away with it. But the thing about it is, the fact is proven that Glasgow Rangers are the only club in Scotland, probably in Britain, that fills every ground they go to. If you let them, they'll fill every ground they go to. And that's a fact, mate. And that was proven when they all voted us out the league and kicked us out the league. You look at every gun in that Premiership, it was less than half full, most of them. Even the Pedodome, it was whole top tier shut. Remember all the big banners across it? They couldn't fill it. You bring Rangers back into the league and the whole place, every ground fills up again when Rangers are in town. So it's not about the Rangers. We're the biggest club in Scotland, mate, by far. And we're probably the biggest club in Britain, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. I know you'll get Man U and all that, but no for supporters. The Rangers supporters are the best and the biggest in the world for me. But anyway, how you get these people to change their mind? You can't, mate. They're no for changing their mind. So I wouldn't waste my time on them. I just would not waste my time. Concentrate on the Rangers. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm. And as a business decision and a football decision, it worked well for Motherwell at the weekend. They lost the game of football, and they could have got themselves what was you writing, Jeff? Around 3,000 at 30 quid a pop, near enough 100 grand.
100 grand, yeah. plus the whatever they spend at the kiosks, and plus what they bring to the local business. What are that other 3,000 people saying? That's the thing about it, Ox. If you take it a step further, the local businesses round about a town like Motherwell, which is inherently a small town, in Lanarkshire. Those other wee businesses, all the food places round about it, the park, park your car up, whether you're going to the shops in the vicinity of it. I happen to know Motherwell very well. Why are those businesses not questioning Motherwell? Why they're not bringing more people into the town? It is utterly, it defies logic. Yet when you go down south, Ox, that just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. If Norwich are playing away from home, they'll take their designated fans if they're going to Wigan or whatever it may be, or if it's Man United or Liverpool going away. They sell out, the home team sells out all their tickets, but if they don't, they sell it to the away team, whether it be Man U, Arsenal, Man City, whoever the big teams are. That's the laws of economics and the laws of where you are in life. Motherwell don't have a big enough support to sell out their stadium. They don't. But they would refuse to sell the tickets because a small peer group, a section of peer group, an ultra-based fan group, or whoever it may be, or somebody on their board has decided they're not going to do it. Mental. Crazy.
I agree. There we go. So that's one thing we see around with the game, because it makes it a better atmosphere all better. Would you agree?
Guns look better full than the day half empty. That's a given, isn't it? Everybody knows that. It's again, we don't look at the benefit of Scottish football. We don't look at the overall benefit for everybody. It's nothing to do with that. It's sheer nutter hatred. You remember they held the vote with the Rangers supporters about selling the stands out, offering the stands out to the Rangers supporters if they couldn't sell it themselves. And the Rangers support said no. And if they did do it, they weren't going to turn up. It's madness, mate. It's complete and utter madness. But there you go. That's the way it is in Scotland. Look, Motherwell, it was that bad on Saturday there. Motherwell can only afford one ball. We lost the ball at one point in the game.
Good point. Getting back to the game, obviously we talked about it last night at length, but look, they went away from home. We won 4-2. Could have won by a lot more at the finish, Jaffa.
I thought it was a great performance, Ox. In particular after great performance. We were a bit stuttery at the start, but I thought we controlled the game. I thought the passing was really good. It was strong. Movement was good. There was a lot of good performances. Once we got a hold of the game. I mean, once they get the man sent off, the game was over. The game was pretty much over before then, anyway. I thought we looked like we could have scored at will, Ox, when we were breaking. We should have scored a lot more goals. And if there is anything to criticise, and it is something you hear us talking about a lot on here on Rangers Radio, we do say that quite regular. We're not maximising the chances. I mean, I think we had 10 shots Saturday, Ox, scored 4 goals, but I think overall in shots, I think we had something like, I think it was in the 20s. Great possession stats. So it was overall, I thought it was a great performance.
Jeff, do us a favour, check the chat. There's a message for you. But it wasn't a vintage performance, but away for him, scored 4 goals. You'd take that 9 times out of 10, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, mate. I'll be honest, I quite enjoyed the game. I thought it was not a bad game. For a Rangers point of view, I thought it was not a bad game. Put it this way, we played well, scored 4 brilliant goals, by the way. They 4 brilliant goals. Made 2 mistakes in defence. And that's all one half of our team playing well and one half of our team playing no particularly well. They weren't playing rotten, but they weren't playing particularly well. So it's all in all with me. I think we all forget it's a game of football we want to watch. It's a spectacle of some description you want to see. You just don't want to watch that a zillion passes to get 3 feet up the park. I mean, I'm fed up watching that. I think everybody's fed up watching that type of football, that Guardiola type crap. I hate all that football. Just play the game and let's get some action and let's get some excitement into the game. And I thought Rangers done all right. They moved the ball about well, I'll give you that. And they moved it about at a good pace. The same culprits slowing the game down at times, but in general, the ball is zipped about. I quite liked that. Cantwell had a great game, an absolute great game. Boys Boy's a player.
The same culprit you're relying to were pivot in midfield, mate?
Big Lundstrom and Golson, the two of them, the two of them are guilty. Too many touches in the ball. They just can't get it out of their game. And yet, seeing the day get it out of their game, Golson does it, and you can see he looks up, and then he takes the ball too many touches. Then he'll put his hands out his side when he passes it no square. If they see nobody move, he's forgetting. He's going, you shouldn't be on the ball that long to worry about people moving into position, mate. It's one touch to still control it, pass, one touch to control it. But that's what your game should be, whether they move or whether they don't move. You're bringing that on yourself. That's what he's doing. And by doing that, he's slowing the whole game down. So just, it's one and two touch football, he's really. And to be fair to him, the majority of the game they did, the majority of the players did. And it's good to watch when they do it. I mean, I watched it again this morning because I was coming on tonight, tell you, I enjoyed it. Even the first half, they zipped the ball. Don't get me wrong, the whole forward line, the first half, didn't have a good game. They were poor. The whole three of them, they were poor. But they started coming into the second half. Sakala, it's one of his poorest games, but yet contributes, scores again.
Explain that header he had to me.
He couldn't explain that. He couldn't tell you what he done there. They're all going, he meant it. Well, it might very well do, but it didn't look at he meant it. He knows the ball's coming into that area and he's going up to win it. Turning your head run or your body run the other way and it bulleted and it was a good goal. I don't know. But it definitely came off the back of his head. But as I say, the wee man's no playing well, but still contributes. Something comes out of it. I like him. I keep saying every time I come on, I keep saying it. I do like the wee guy because he contributes, because he's involved in the game. He never hides. No matter how bad he's playing or how well he's playing, he's always in the game. And at times you can get anything off him. We were all talking about it the other day. You can get anything. He doesn't know. So if he doesn't know, how are we supposed to know what's going to come?
Listen, if that was a deliberate skill he done, mate, he's a better player than me, I think he is,
Oh, that's a Van Basten job, that one, isn't it? He's something else, then, if he meant that, I'll tell you. It was some cross ball he tapped, because his cross was poor tap, but it was some cross. It was an excellent... That was the crosses that boy was doing maybe 2 or 3 years back. That was the regular crosses like that. That was the ones he was firing in. Excellent. No, the big loopy ones and the big ones that go away to the back post or right out of the bar. No, that was an excellent cross.
Mm-hmm. Sakara's an enigma, but I think we all like him all better, if I'm being honest.
He brings something that you really enjoy watching, don't you? He's just infectious. He just loves playing for the Rangers, and you can see it. He smiles and he tries. He does what we would all do. We'd a jersey. They let us on that part. Just try your heart out. That's all you want. Just try your heart out. Might come off you, might not come off you. But be in the game. Don't let yourself drift out the game. And he never does. He's tore in, he tries, he trips out his own feet. He does brilliant headers. He can do shots, both feet. He can run into position. He can run offside. Constantly running upside. He's one of the guys that he drives you crazy, and then all of a sudden he just does something brilliant. You're like, oh, that's just brilliant. Why can't you do that stuff? That's not football. It's some predictability.
Aye. He's a. There's just something about him. I don't know if you would call him a cult hero or fans' favourite. However you want to dress up, he's hard to dislike, you know. Are you comfortable that he's got the ball under control? No, he isn't. But I think that's what makes him so entertaining. You know, Sakala, he's just an enigma, Jaffer.
Aye, he's a beautiful enigma, though, isn't he? He just is just that player, Ox. I mean, you take that out of him, and you don't have that the capability that he's got, and the pass that he sees. I love his pace on that left hand side, Ox. I really do. I think that three they played again at the front, you know, with Kent through the middle, it's got something about it. It's got a right good look about it. It's got a good balance about it. Cholak coming in for the right as well. I thought, you know, a really good mix. They were interchanging a lot, moving about, really, you know, keeping that Motherwell back four on their toes. It was really effective, Ox, I have to say, really effective.
The work hard, moved about, but I've got to be honest, I thought the three of them in the first half, I'm in all there. I don't think they fired. You know, they were nowhere near the performance of the Easter Road, Albert.
No, they weren't, mate. I think they would admit that themselves. They weren't in the game. They just couldn't seem to get into the game. But second half, they picked it up. Might have been a slight change of what the manager was asking them to do. But the first half, no, they weren't in it at all, mate. They were trying. Don't get me wrong. They weren't hiding. They were trying to get into it. Picholak and Sakala especially were trying to get into it. But they just couldn't get into it. It was a shame. The first goal, if you're going to talk about the goals, you're going to talk about the goals.
Carry on, mate. You have your say, yeah?
Well, the first goal for Muller was offside, mate. There's no doubt about it. That's just offside. I don't care what anybody says. It's offside. That big Dutch striker, there's Dutch in it, but he's 3 yards offside, and the other guy's offside as well. The winger one it's debatable, but I think when the boy's actually kicked, he's offside. They stop the frame when the boy's just going to be kicked, so he looks onside, and you're going, it's when the boy's kicked, no when it's going to be kicked. So if you look at it right, when it's actually left the player's foot, he's offside. But again, it's one of the ones. It's debate all you want. It's we go to our one, they go to their one. So that sort of negates itself and say, oh, that's it, right, one each, like, move on. But the goal that we lost, I mean, that was Tavernier's fault all day long, mate. All day long, that was his fault.
But the second goal, the comedy errors.
Aye, their goal. The Motherwell's second goal, sorry, mate. Motherwell's second goal. I mean, good grief, man. I mean, he goes up, he's himself, no challenge. He missed, he jumps under the ball, heads it up in the air, it comes back down. He then takes a big fresh air swipe at it, misses it. Then he stands and watches the Cholak. The Cholak's standing with the ball at his feet, but he can't clear it. Tavernier's in his way. He's looking at Tavernier to go, you coming in back, or has McGregor come? Cholak went in, the guy just sticks his toe between Cholak's leg, goal. It was a poor goal to lose, man. And I'm saying, and everybody said, why did Cholak not clear it? Look at it again. Cholak can't clear it. He'll hit it off Tavernier if he tries to clear it. And he's standing there waiting for one of them, because remember, that's not his position, defending in his own 6-yard box. That's the goalkeeper and that's the fullback. They're supposed to know what they're doing in these positions. But the two of them stood and looked at him. Tavernier's in his way to block it, to knock it out for a corner. He can't go that way. So he's expecting either Tavernier to come in and blutter it, or McGregor to come out and grab it. Nothing happens. A toe poke that goes under McGregor. Go off your lap. But it's madness. It's just mad. But I was with old Davey. I heard old Davey last night. He's going, that defence is mince. It is mince, mate. We've need to do something with this defence. We really do. Because we're starting to get football players all apart now. Good football players all apart. Give them a fighting chance and give a defence that can actually defend. These
I think there will
be
be changes, mate. You'll see.
Aye, I think so myself, mate.
Yeah, one of the most consistent players in the last few weeks, Chafford, has been Ben Davis.
It has been Ox. His distribution's been really good. His positioning's been really good. I can see why Ben Davis is I think we're now seeing the real version of Ben Davis. He's been fit. He looks fit. He's playing every game that's coming along to him. I think his positional strength is his best quality, Ox. I think he reads the game brilliantly. He's also got a hell of a left peg on him. I mean, he can ping the ball. Probably the weakest point is maybe alluding to where Olber's going there with the defending side there. And that's one of the things I would like to see happen in change, Ox. I'd like to see a real natural, just no nonsense, get the ball. Don't worry about it, don't think. And I just don't think we do that enough. But going back to the Ben Davis, Ox, I totally agree with you. He really looks like a decent find, and he's come into the team really good balance on the left-hand side, in particular when Barisic is there and Ridvan, with the two natural left peggers. I think it gives a real good balance, and he does switch the ball very well as well.
I remember the good old days when we didn't want any left footers in our team, Bulber.
On the pass, mate. We're a better team, I know.
But listen, Ben Davis, he's a guy that he's not a guy that's going to go through people. His game's all about positioning, all about. He's not got the greatest pace you've ever seen, but you've not seen him in real trouble, because he seems to read the game particularly well. Yeah.
he reads the game brilliant. I mean, he knows how to defend. He knows how to defend. All right, he might have weaknesses in the air and blah, blah. I don't think he's as weak in the air as everybody's trying to make out he is. Some of the players he's playing against are absolute giants, and he's still winning his fair share of them. But what his strength is reading the game and doesn't panic, mate. He knows when to bring a ball down, chest the ball, bring it down and move the ball. And he knows when to put the laces right through it. He doesn't hesitate. If he's in any doubt at all, the laces go through it. Regroup, start again. He understands the game perfectly, mate. It's how it should be played. I like the boy. I think he's a decent enough player. He's the best defender I've ever seen in my life. No, he's not. But he's the best I've seen in the last 10 years. Well, he's up there in the top 5, put it that way. He's definitely there in the top 5. I like the boy. I think he's all right. I think he'll do well for us. And he's saying himself, once I get a pre-season, you'll see the best of me. So let's hope he stays fit and we get a pre-season through him and let's see what he's got.
I think he's done all right. And what he's done, Jaffer, is he doesn't make many mistakes, yeah? So, you might not be fantastic, but if you keep it simple, do your job without making silly errors, you're just comfortable in what you do. You're 7 out of 10 every week.
That's a great point, Ox, and that's exactly what he is. He's like steady Eddie, isn't he? He doesn't seem to get himself caught in positions in situations where he's getting stretched or he's getting pulled around. I've noticed his positional strength definitely is his best strength, without a doubt. And he's left, that left hand side, the switching. I really like when the ball in particular comes out through him from the back. I think he's got a real good kind of vision on the whole pitch and what he sees in front of him. And he's very good at switching defence into attack very quickly. I'm really pleased with Ben Davies, and I think that's the best compliment you can pay him. In fact, see if you look at a lot of the goals we're conceding, Ox, they're not from that side of the park.
That's a fair shout, mate. That's a fair shout. That is a fair shout. Yeah. I'm just trying to calm Albert down here. You all right, Albert? Somebody rub his shoulders.
He's right, but I mean, most of the goals are coming down the right-hand side of our defence now. And it's the same goal we keep losing, and it's annoying. It's really frustrating. But there's Tavernier, for example. I mean, I keep telling you can't defend. The boy can't. His numbers are great. He's fantastic going forward. He's a good captain. No got a problem with any of that. Hell of a nice guy. Never met the guy, but he comes across as a hell of a nice guy. He's a decent human being. He represents the club superbly well, both on and off the park. Brilliant, that, but he can't defend. He just can't. For example, he scores a beautiful free kick. That's the best side of him. He's brilliant at it. He's excellent goal boy scorer. But then he gives that one away to make a one each. So that one cancels the other one out. Then he does. So he's up by an assist. So he makes an assist for Lisa Caller's goal. So that's him in the overall game. He's up by an assist. He's not up with a goal and assist. He's up with an assist because he's caused a goal and scored the goal. Then he proceeds to miss a shot. You're going, he could have scored 4 goals Saturday, by the way. Very easy, 4 goals. There's at least 3 of them. One he scored with a free. Well, I can't say that. The other 3 I thought he should have scored. The free kicks, one of the. Well, it could get maybe 60-40 against them. But the other 3, I'm going, why did you not put the header away? Why did you not put the volley away? He took it with right. I think he took his right foot. He should have took his left. It was the other way about. So I looked at it this morning and I'm going, you could have scored 4 goals today. There you're by your 100 mark right in the one game.
Aye, the funny thing is about that game, mate, that could have ended up double figures in the last 20 minutes, mate. We never scored, but we should have scored.
Yeah, that's the maddening thing about it, mate. We've been doing this all season, haven't we? We get teams, when they get teams in a weakened position, we don't murder them. We let them off the hook, and that's why that mob are sitting with such a superior goal difference.
So, we have to take the positives and negatives. There's some good and some bad about our team at times. But we're just looking for the level of consistency a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And from a winning point of view, you can't argue, mate. They're winning, so nobody can argue about their consistency about winning.
No.
The proof of the pudding. The proof of the pudding's there. So, aye, I've got no problem with that. They're doing their job.
Man of the match for you both at the weekend. Jaffa first. Press that mute button, Jaffa. Come on, it's no difficult. He's been on a course. Yes, well done, Jaffa. No, he wants to speak all there, didn't he?
Cantwell for me.
Cantwell. Albert?
Hold on, I go on mute.
All right. He's taking
Hey, I'm
the
back.
you, Jaffa.
Cantwell.
Through the 90 minutes, I thought our most consistent player was Ben Davis. I understand he's getting to Cantwell because he's second half performance, yeah?
Even his first half performance, mate. As I said, I watched it this morning again, just to particularly look at certain things. One of the things I looked at was him. He was tremendous, mate. He's absolutely tremendous. Spacey makes these sell. He always makes his cell available for the pass to receive a ball. His vision to pass the ball is superb. He's a great player, the boy. I'm telling you, a great player.
Right, we get these phone lines open. We get these phone lines open, gentlemen.
Yes.
Go for it.
Go for it. We'll let everybody know you're looking for a new hobby, Jaffa.
Aye, how to work a mute button.
I don't know if that's what it is, Albert.
He's taking injuries, so I would lay off it for a while anyway. You know what I mean? Whatever he's doing, I'd lay off it.
For a lot of reasons. Right, okay. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yes, come in and join us. Look, it's an international break, but we need you to make the show work. These discussion points of view, questions. Phone up and ask Albert anything about anything.
Oh, steady now.
That could be entertaining, Jaffa.
No, absolutely. No, I'd phone him up, ask him about PPI, anything at all. Anything you want to talk to him about.
PPI.
If you phoned up, Jaffa, what would you ask Albert?
It's not for live radio.
You would ask me, Jaffa, do I look as stupid as I sound?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I could answer that.
He'd personal knowledge of that.
I had the two years, one after the other, one night after the other.
That doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't. At the pleasure of your company, one night after the other. Most enjoyable. Talking about company, we've still got some tickets left. They're gone, they're moving, but we've got some tickets left because we want all the tickets taken. Rangers Radio doing Saturday night, £40, 4-course meal. Derek Johnson, Gordon Smith, Mark Haley. And of course, Albert and Jaffa are going to be there as well. Yeah. Come and join us. All the money is going to great causes. 4-course dinner. Good night, good entertainment, good people. Jaffa.
Brilliant. Should be a great night, Ox. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait, actually. Been in the company of Big DJ at these do's before, and in Gordon Smith. And Big Mark Haley as well, and they're all brilliant. So should be a great night, Oxen, for a really, really brilliant cause. So really looking forward to it.
Yes, and pictures took with Albert.
Oh, you wouldn't want that.
There were big. All the female listeners will be coming in now, Jaffa.
Aye, I tell you, talk about female listeners. You know, we've not heard from her in a while. Amanda. I wonder how Amanda's doing.
Aye. Hopefully she's all right, mate. Hopefully she's all right, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Aye. Everyone's all right in Amanda's world, I hope, obviously. My parents, she looks at helps with her parents, you know. Aye, looking forward to it, Albert, Saturday evening.
Oh, aye, definitely, mate. A few beers. Oh, aye, something to eat. She's only gone because I'm putting her nose bag on, so, aye.
I'm sure that the sarsaparilla might help.
Ah, well, aye. I didn't want to say that. But aye, it will help a lot. Aye, I look forward to it, mate. Look forward to it.
I think Fox is in regular contact with Amanda Jaffa, so I'll see if he finds out and let you know, yeah?
That'd be good, aye. I tell her I'm asking for her.
Right, okay, so I get your Cantwell, I understand Cantwell. He's got something about him. I just think we've got to get the boy on the park, give him a free role, and let him play, albeit.
Aye, the role he's playing at the moment seems to be working for him anyway, and it's working for, more importantly, working for the team. It looks good. He's happy. He looks happy. He looks like he's enjoying his football. The guy gets sent off, hits him in the face with his arm, but that seems to be. Oh, it didn't happen. It did happen. We've seen it. It did happen. Players get doing it all the time. Get hit in the face, but when a Rangers player does it, it seems to be a big controversy all of a sudden. It's nonsense. That's absolutely nonsense. But Cantwell, definitely. My type of player. Big Tillman as well. I know you'll come on to him.
Anyway, we've been joined by Dave Corby. How we doing, Dave?
How are we doing then? You alright?
Yeah, good, mate. Good yourself.
All these Rangers fans complaining. We follow the team wherever it does. You know what I mean? That's what we follow Rangers for.
Mm-hmm.
Win, lose or draw, that's the Rangers story. I mean, I'll follow Rangers until I die.
I think we're all the same, mate. You know. Good then, Dave. The floor's yours.
Okay. Anybody going up on the 1st of April for the Dundee game?
I might not be back, but then Jaffa.
I'll be there, Dave. I'll be at Ibrox on the 1st of April for the match against Dundee United.
Well, I'll be in the lounge room if you want a drink.
That sounds like a plan, mate. I could organise that, no bother.
Yeah, because we're all coming from Kobe.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I'll make a point to pop them into the Loudon before the match and grab a...
Oh, brilliant. And then I'll meet you in the...
I'll grab a pint of Vermin or whatever they call it with you.
Yep. Can't wait to meet you, mate. Can't wait to meet you.
Just don't wear the same outfit when you met me in that hotel in Spain, Jaffa.
That was a right said Fred outfit, wasn't it?
I'm still scared of that. I'm still scared of it. Oh, you're not going to be there, no?
No, that game, no.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame because we were been nice to meet you, mate.
Not with them, mate. You wouldn't enjoy it at all, would you, Albert?
Oh, Bridgeman.
No, the calibre of drink he's got to drinks, mate. You wouldn't enjoy it at all. The wee umbrellas and his pint and all that. He's a weird guy drinking, mate. He really is.
Oh dear. What's on your mind, Dave?
I'm just saying that, you know what I mean? I'll follow Rangers until I die. I know we're starting to play good now. I wish, you know what I mean? I can't see Morelos staying in the summer. I think he'll be on his way. I think if he goes, good luck to him. The best from us and Corby and all the fans who supported him. And also, this season, I think if we win the Scottish Cup, it'll be great. It'll be fantastic. I think that's all we can go for at the moment because at the moment, I think the league's over with, mate.
Well, we're not against the positions, Jaffa, but we've got to just keep winning football matches and see where it takes us.
That's all you've got to do at this moment in time, Dave. Just keep winning and win football matches.
Supporting.
And absolutely, aye, follow. You know,
support your team, whatever.
We're all Rangers fans at the end of the day. You know, as far as the league goes, just keep winning matches, and you hope a slip up happens. You never know.
Yeah.
Football's a funny game, Dave. But I agree with you. It looks it looks likely that the league's probably a bit stretched too far. But that doesn't mean to say you're winning those games doesn't affect the confidence and everything else. So, and we've got a big game coming up against them in the cup, which is massive.
Yeah.
So, playing well is a great point that you make, Dave, because we have started playing well and we're putting performances together. Not again, there's still wee errors slipping in here or there, but we've been certainly banging in the goals, and that augurs well for the games that are coming up.
Yeah.
We just need to keep winning football matches, Albert.
That's all I do. That's what we're doing, mate. That's what you do, innit? You just keep winning them and see what it takes you. You never know. As Jaffa said, you just never know in football. It'd be quite funny if we did win it this year, man. That'd be hilarious. I really would. But you don't know. It's like say if we started battering the goals in when we should be battering the goals in, that would have made a hell of a difference, by the way, because that puts pressure on them, because they're sitting there going like that. Doesn't matter, 9 points plus goal difference. But if you were eating away at that goal difference, and we should have been eating away by significant numbers, puts a bit of pressure on you. You never know. You just never know. But anyway, we'll see. We're doing our job. We're winning games, and Bill's doing his job, so we can't argue. It all happened before Bill got here, so the position we're in, and it all happened within a week, really. So no, we're getting there. Once we get a few more new players in, freshen it up, we'll go again. But the season's not done. You've still got the league to play for, and you've still got the Scottish Cup. Albeit the league's an outside shot, but the cup's no. The cup's within our grasp. We can do that.
Hi. Dave, Michael Beale, what's your thoughts on Michael Beale, Dave?
Fantastic.
Aye.
I think he's a great manager. I think he's a hard manager, but at the moment, you know what I mean, he's just come into the club. You've got to give him time, really. And also, you know what I mean, next season, you know what I mean. Well, like when Frank Broncos went and Beale came in, he had a big job to take over, didn't he, before Frank Broncos left. So we should be thankful for what he's done so far. But I wasn't very happy when we got beat by the Puddle Drinkers in the League Cup. It'd be nice to win it.
I don't think anybody was. You know. Aye, how are you rating Beale? Jaffa, then Albert.
Well, that was the biggest test, wasn't it, Ox? I can't deny that was the biggest test. But the league form, tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Overall, I'll probably give him about an 8.5 out of 10.
Albert?
I'd give him a 7 out of 10 because of the League Cup. But the league form, tremendous, as Jaffa said. The only blip was the two each at Ibrox. We should have beaten them at Ibrox. That just ups me to that. Really, not really down to Beale. It's more down to Jack. But the cup final was down to Beale. Ranked team. It was a ranked team. And he admitted it himself. So that was a mistake. I'm not saying it would have played Raskin in that game that they made a huge difference or would only win it, but you never know. More legs for a while in the game, for however long the boy would have lasted. But that's my only downside with Beale so far. He's just made the wrong decision. And that happens. It just so happened. It happened in the wrong game. But apart from that, league form, nothing to complain about, mate. Nothing.
Here. Just jump in quick. If you want to go to the contact us at RangersRadio@gmail.com. Contact the show. David, he has done well in the league, Michael Beale. He cut his jib, but he'll be judged more closely next year, mate.
Yeah, I think you will be judged next year when he brings his own players in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Rangers have got to be patient. Rangers fans, I know they can't be patient, but they must be patient. You know what I mean? It might take a little while. You know what I mean? But the Rangers fans won't wait a little while. They want trophies. They want trophies in the cabinet. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it takes a little while for a manager to get his team kicking. You know what I mean? He's been good when he's come in, but it might take him a little while. But you know what I mean? Rangers fans can't wait for that. They need trophies, and we don't know how long this is going to take. You know what I mean?
I think he's close. I think he's close. I think we're close, and I think we're improving, Jaffa.
Oh, there's definitely been an improvement, Ox. That's what I think we can all see what see what you're seeing as far as the league goes. The performances have definitely improved. The team are definitely playing a lot better, and they definitely look more like the Rangers that we want to see, rather than without getting back the way and talking about Van Bronckhorst. But that style of football was really, really turgid and dead difficult to watch, Ox, and get behind and support. But this under Beale, improvements definitely you can see, and the players that he's trying to bring out, the players that he has brought in, the recruitments that he's made, and Cantwell and Raskin, they definitely look as though they're going to be starters and they're going to contribute to the team overall as the season moves on. I really, really like the look of Todd Cantwell. It was Raskin I was more excited about, but the more I've seen Cantwell, in particular, Ox, and I think he's managed to. It wasn't just the first couple of games where he was energetic and he was trying to prove who he was and new to the club and all that kind of stuff. And they get the new club bounce. I really like his positional strength, the positions that he takes up. He's clever. He's thinking 2 passes, 3 moves ahead, and I really like that. And the most important thing I like about Cantwell is he's a team player. And I think once Beale gets the summer transfer window under his belt, I'm excited to see who else he's going to bring in and see what the changes he's going to make to the squad. We know there's going to be an overhaul, if you want to call it that. There's going to be a bit of an overhaul, but there's still, the nucleus of the team's still there. And see who he's going to bring in. And that, I'm excited about. He's stabilised Sakala. He's done a lot of good, Ox. He's obviously coaching all this one-to-one stuff that they're doing, certainly bringing out the best in a lot of players. We spoke about Ben Davies tonight. Yilmaz is backing the team. Let the wee man get 6 or 7 games under his belt. I know it's coming to the end of the season, but it'd be good to see what he looks like. A fit Yilmaz, because I don't think he's got going yet, has he? So Beale, in that sense, really pleased with him in that sense.
Yilmaz, listen, I don't want to judge the boy in Saturday's performance. I think that's a great point you make. I don't think he would have played or started. He would have come on at some point, I think, albeit
Barisic was there, probably.
So let's be honest. He's fit, but he's got to get his fitness back, and I mean his match fitness. He's also with a hammy. He's got to get his confidence back, yeah?
Yeah. I'm quite happy he played on Saturday. I'm quite happy with his performance, to be honest with you. All things considered, I think he was brilliant, but all things considered, and he had a wee bit to deal with, and Saturday, the high boys, because they were targeting him. And I thought he dealt with it reasonably well, all things considered. And he's got the willingness to go forward, and you can see it. A couple of passes went astray, a couple of crosses went astray, but you can see he's got a football brain. The runs he's making, and I like that run he does on the inside, where he cuts across the fullback and plants the ball on the inside. He never actually managed to get a pass to him, but it's a clever run. I like that run. I think that boy's going to be a good one. But as you say, time to judge him was later on. No, he's settling in. He's definitely settling in. And as for the distance between them and us, I mean, no, there is a gap, but it's not as big as everybody's trying to make out. I mean, they're all trying to make out it's huge and it's years ahead. They're no years ahead, mate. They're nowhere near years ahead. And in fact, I would take it, the difference is, and it'd been really close if we'd had Highlander, Roof and Lawrence all fit for the whole season. I think you'd have seen a real tight league. Talking maybe 1-2 points, maybe 3 points either way. But we didn't have it, so wherever we are, we're sitting at 9 points behind. End of it. But as I say,
confidence and pressure, they things to teams, mate.
Of course they do, mate. Of course they do.
We had a period where we were playing with no confidence, and they were playing with no pressure, mate. Yeah.
Aye, need defence. Got to remember, we played that week. We played with King and Sands. Really, need defenders. You'll say, but it is what it is. We are where we are. It happened. It's just one of the things. But you've got to take in some. They 3 players especially. They're class players, the 3 of them. There's no doubt about that. But they're never going to be fit. 2 of them, at least, are never going to be fit. But it's a shame. It's a shame. I'd have liked to have seen it. The 3 were fit for the full season to see what happened.
I get you. You know, who hasn't been fit, David? Who's nobody? There's nearly every player in those squad's been unfit at some point this season, isn't he?
Yep.
Still with Davey?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Yeah, the injuries have been horrendous, haven't they, this season?
Of course. Is it to do with the players, or is it to do with the techno team? It's been really bad. You know what I mean? It seems like they pick up an injury every time they. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Some of the injuries. You know. Now we've got another player injured. You know.
Just hit my wrap and not got move. If they were all the same, Jaffa, if everybody was getting hammies or everybody was getting calf strains, but the injuries have been so. I mean, look at Rufus. We're playing in a mud bath and he managed to fall and dislocate his shoulder, whatever they done, you know.
I know. And then it's laterally, I think it's been his hip, Ox. I'm not so sure they're related in any way to the. I mean, I can't say that for sure. It's not related to training or anything like that. But you know, I just think there's been a real mixed bag of really bad luck. And I think there's probably been an element of the team. Let's not be kidding. A lot of us were for a while at the beginning of the season were saying we didn't look fit. We weren't sharp. They might have been fit, but they weren't match fit as such, going out and getting caught out. And I mean, even Tavernier for a while was playing with an injury, wasn't he? I mean, we all know that. Lundstrom was playing with an injury, taking injections. So Golson's injury, Morelos' injury, as you say, Ox. I mean, there's been a real, mixture of injuries, but some serious, really bad ones. Yilmaz getting a hamstring and been out for whatever it was, nearly 16, 17 weeks. It's been hard. Suter's injury, Ryan Jack's been out. Cholak's been out. 29 out of
31, Jaffa.
29 out of 31. There you go. Unbelievable. 29 players out of 31. So it's been. I don't think you can lay that at the door of the technical team or the doctors or anything like that.
That's absolutely frightening, isn't it? I mean, you never
can I come in there?
I don't think. Did you?
But I don't think it's the question I'd be asking now if I was the managers in there and the senior managers is, okay, it's not the same type of injury, but is some of these players get misdiagnosed? Because there's something no right. I don't know what it is. It might just be a run of bad luck. It might be the most unluckiest team in the whole wide world. But I'm there suspicious and saying, what's going on here? There's something no right here. There's something got to be looked. At least ask the question. Somebody needs to be reporting back, asking the question, and whoever's in charge of the medical team need to be honing reports in, because you can't have 29 players out of 31 injured during one season. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous, mate. They're in a fitness team. It's their job to keep these players fit and get them in the peak condition and keep them there. So something's not right. Something's stinking, mate. Something's absolutely stinking, and I don't know what it is. I haven't a clue. I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm definitely going to want people to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. What you'd like to know, Jaffa, then is, if you say there's roughly 30, 15 players in most squads, what is the average? Because if it's 20 players get injured this season, or 24, and we've had 29, because obviously everybody gets injuries, don't they?
Yeah, I would say with a squad that size, with 30 players, 31 players, which is on the top heavy side, I would say maybe about a third of your team would probably be injured at some point throughout the season. So maybe in our case, 8 or 9 or 10 players, if you want to say that, would be injured. But to have literally the whole team and every player in the team injured throughout the season. I mean, I'm saying I don't think there's anything. I don't think you can put it on any particular, but it could be down to the conditioning, the sports science. Maybe they're not picking things up. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not bringing players, back down for training or whenever we're looking after them, or whether they're all the technical stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, I agree with Albert. I think that can't go on. We can't go into next season starting the season off with 6 or 7 players already injured before we kick a ball. So at some point, whether they're doing it now, whether they're going through it and analysing it and saying, are we doing something wrong? That's the right thing to do, Ox, and I'm sure you would agree with that. Especially a business, the amount of money that the value of those players are. When you think of the asset, they've got to look after them. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. They're your tins of beans. Hopefully we don't have another season like this. Hopefully we don't with injuries. I don't think I've ever known anything like it. David,
do you think Raskin, is a great little player, but why has he got an injury so soon? Because he's just come into Rangers, isn't he? Did the Rangers know about this, or he's just picked up a little injury? Because it sounds a bit funny to me. Every player we usually sign, they're usually good, but we've had too much injuries, and I think that might have cost us the season, if you ask me.
Well, it has had an effect, but I think we might see Raskin in the next home game. Albert? With Jaffa?
I don't know what the injury is that Raskin's got. I just read what the news that came out. The unofficial line, Knox, was that he's got a small injury. Listen, the lad was probably going to be playing midweek or on the international duty, Dave, for the Belgium under-21 team. Maybe with everything that's went on with the lad and the big move that he's made from one country to another. Let's hope. I'm not saying that the guy's not injured, but he's obviously not fit enough to play. So it's best that he doesn't risk it and get it any worse, and that he has a wee bit of a breather, because it's been a bit of a whirlwind. Bearing in mind, Raskin hadn't played a lot of football before he came to us. He hadn't played since, I think, I don't want to be quoted on this, I think it may have been September last year, October time, the last time that he actually played for Standard Liège before he joined us. I mean, in the first team, he was certainly playing in their second team and what have you, but I don't think they're asking injuries. I don't think there's been nothing official come out of the club, so like Oxford, I'm hopeful we'll maybe see him in the game in the 1st of April against Dundee United.
That's a good point. And Fox's message with his, just quickly, with his point of view, he's thinking that we brought players in that hadn't done pre-seasons, but Gerrard used to bring them in. That was one of his things. He always brought them in early, didn't he? Done his business early, so that they were part of the pre-season. Maybe there's a learning curve in there. Albert, are you with us?
Aye, I'd say, mate, that's 30 out of 31.
Did you forget about Raskin, did you?
No, it was 29. It's 29. I just heard you talk. I didn't know Raskin was injured. It's 30 out of 31. Ah, you're right about Gerrard. They did get them in early. They did get that pre-season into them right at the beginning. And we did look, all that season, we did look super fit. No, I mean, one in particular season, we went to we won the league. We looked super fit that season. Then last season, we go to the UEFA Cup final. We looked super fit again. We lost a couple of daft games. We should have won the treble the year we won the league. But last year, I think we should have won that UEFA Cup. Let's be honest, we should have. We didn't, but we should have. So, the fitness side, Gerrard got it right. He definitely got it right. But we're not getting it right now. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong. And it needs to be looked at. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what it is. I'm not accusing anybody. I just say it. This needs to be looked at. And these senior managers should be looking at it now and saying, right, everybody up here, I want a report. I want to go through this step by step and find out and tell me what is actually happening here. If there's patterns, if there's no patterns, what can we do better? What do we need to cut out? What do we need to get? Is that equipment? What equipment do we need to get? We need to do something, mate, because we can't allow this to happen again.
Because if you take it in pounds, shillings and pence, Jaffer, if you were to see how much wages we're paying for people unavailable, it would frighten you, wouldn't it?
Oh, I mean, that would frighten you. I mean, if you're paying that money out every week, which we have been in a lot of instances with players with injuries, and they're not contributing to the team through no fault of the player. The player's injured. There's nothing you can do about it. But you need to drill into that and get to the bottom of it and figure out where if there is a problem. And listen, I think all of us, and I think Albert makes a really valid point. Whoever's senior and control of that, the footballing department, from the medical side and the technical side, whether it be Michael Beale or his guys round about him, they should be trying to sort that and figure out what because that's not natural, that's not normal. What's happened to us this season? So they've got to get to the bottom of that, and quick, Ox, because as I said, pre-seasons and everything else are no longer coming back round again. And then, players coming back in. And going back to your point about Gerrard did do that even with players that came in and joined in the January Ox. He made them do a 6-week, a mini pre-season. But probably with injuries in this time around with Beale, he just didn't have time to do that.
I wouldn't be surprised, Ox, as well, if it was up to 50% of the wage bill. There's no contributing nothing.
Oh, aye, that's quite frightening, mate. Aye, you think about it. I mean,
that's just down to a pure monetary point of view.
There's no been injured then, Scott, right?
Kent, I think Kent's no been injured now.
Kent, this season. Interesting.
No, that I remember anyway. Put it away.
Did he not spell it? Yeah, I remember.
McCallum.
McCallum's been
injured.
Yeah, he has been injured. That's right.
Cantwell's been injured enough.
I mean, see, when you think about it, sorry to jump in there, Ox. See, you think about it. We even, in the last couple of weeks, we've had Robbie McCrory injured.
He's been injured for weeks.
How?
Well, we've had injuries on injuries.
He's not been playing.
He's on the bench.
Kent's played 39 games, 2 substitute appearances this season. Yeah. I've played more games than that. Anyway, aye, interesting. Right, listen, we've reached that time of the evening, Albert. Get yourself a tune, mate. Yeah, we're going to have a tune. Get yourself a mute. Enjoy.
Sing and march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, up for the jersey they would do or die. Oh, fight, fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. We'll lose or draw, well, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. Oh, follow they will, marching on through the song of glory. We'll lose or draw, well, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. you seen the Glasgow Rangers? Have you seen the boys in blue? Well, they're admired by all who know them. If you knew them, so would you. For they have played in Monaco, they have played in the USA. But the greatest game in history is the game on New Year's Day. For it's a home of famous heroes, and their praises they have been sung. Willie Waddle, Tory Gaelic, Alan Martin and George Young. And when all my life has ended, and when death has made its mark, will you scatter all my ashes on the slope of Ibrox Park? And what the angels I'll be singing up in heaven, there up above. I'll be singing, follow, follow, to the Rangers that I love. And with my flute I will be playing in the valleys and the glens. I'll be happy and contented when the Rangers win again. See them marching on through the years of history. It's held on high, up for the jersey they would do or die. Fight, fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true. On the wicket cheer the boys in blue. Oh, follow they will, marching on through the song of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, here's an interesting stat. You mentioned Kent. Do you know that Ryan Kent's had double the yellow cards as goals he scored this season?
Well, it means he's involved in the game, I suppose.
Surprisingly.
And he goes as it 3 Ox.
Aye, 3.
6 yellow cards.
Aye.
So I'm good at that maths, isn't
The infuriating thing about Ryan Kent, Ox, with the ability he's got in this league of ours, he should be banging in 15, 16, 18 goals a season. Even double figures.
He never gets a tap in, does he? He's never in at the back post just tapping the ball in, is he?
He's never scored in the Sakala goal, put it that way. Sakala's playing out on the left and he scores that header. Kent would never be in that position because he's not got the instinct to do it. We Sakala has.
I've said this before on here, on the show, Ox, and I'll say it again. I don't think Ryan Kent, since that hamstring injury, has been the same player. I don't think Ryan Kent's got a shot. You very rarely ever see him troubling the goalkeeper. He scored against them. He scored an absolute brilliant goal, but it was placed. But he's not got a belter of a shot on him. You never see him catching the ball in the volley or the half volley. And again, I go back to my point. With the ability Ryan Kent's got, the natural ability he's got, he should be scoring 10, 12 goals. Easy. In the Scottish Premier League. Easy.
Maybe 1 and 2 in our competitions, the next time you get close to 20. But that's a complete, you could put the whole team. We've not got any great strikers in the ball in open play.
That's what we're going to need for next season, mate. We're going to need goals all over the team. And I would set them all a target. And that's including fullbacks and centre-halves and midfield. Every player in the team should be looking to score 10 goals a season. Every player. Apart from your goalkeeper, lads. But that's what I would say. And that's your target. And judge yourself after that. Because that's what's going to win the league next year. Goals. What they're doing. They're blasting teams away early doors in the season. Getting their goal difference away up. Us, we're mincing about with 1-0, some 2-1s, 3-1s at best. No, you need to go in the park. Every player needs to want to score. Every player needs to contribute all through the season. And I would reckon about minimum of 10 goals for every position. Some will do it, some won't do it. But that's what your goal is.
I've said that for a while, Jeff. If we're not scoring enough goals at certain times and making the games easy for us.
No, we're not, Ox, and that is, if there's a criticism still on the team, then now that's probably the biggest criticism. Even Saturday, there's a great example. You know, Hibs last week should have probably scored about 7 or 8 against them. Should have, absolutely. That wouldn't have embarrassed the scoreline. But we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Combination of squandering chances, missing chances, a bad finishing. Yeah, absolutely, Albert. Not taking chances, not being hungry enough to get into that position, as you say, Ox, not reading the game. You know, Ryan Kent, he's in a forward position. I mean, he's playing through the middle. If you look at his position on Saturday, he's playing the centre forward role. When the ball goes into the box, if you're playing the centre forward role, even if that's not your natural position, just get yourself in the 6-yard box. Look at Cantwell. Cantwell done it. Cantwell got a goal.
Aye. Look at Tav. Look at Tav, mate.
Absolutely. You don't need to look any further than your right back. He gambles all the time. I mean, he sniffs it out. Of course he does. He's got a knack. He scored a cracking free kick. Can't take it away from Tav at the weekend. The ball he whipped in for Sakala was a brilliant ball. As was the one the week before for him as well at Hibs. He's going back to the Tav situation, Ox, and talking about him earlier on there in his position. Albert was bringing up. See, since Candace left the team, what Candace had almost like a telepathic understanding of James Tavernier. We never used to lose as many goals in that right back position because Candace would slot in and he would fill in for him.
I think it's since Ryan Jack's not been playing regular, mate, as well. I think that's
fair point. Yeah.
Ryan Jack.
Yeah, because he sweeps very well, Ryan Jack, doesn't he? He does read the game at the back, and he does cover that ground. You're right. It's a really valid point. But going back to the goals, Ox, and that's our biggest. That's where we've got to improve. That's the biggest improvement. I mean, the amount of attack play that we have, and the amount of game time the minutes in game that we have in the opposition's last third, and we're not making it count.
No. Oh, but that actually helps your defence because obviously it sucks the life out the other team, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and it makes you play better. It draws them out, changes the whole dynamic of the game. It does everything. But we somehow we were new style of play we've played for this 4-3-3 since Warburton time. The emphasis seems to be dominating the ball. That doesn't mean anything, mate. That's just mince. That's just nonsense. 76% of the ball, 80%. It doesn't mean nothing. The scoreline is only stat you want to know. That's it. I don't expected goals and all this garbage. I just don't go over that nonsense. I don't care if you only get 50 passes in the game, but 6 of them are goals. Aye, that'll do me. That'll do me nicely, mate. But we dominated the game. We've got 521 passes. Motherwell had 169 passes. What difference does it make? What difference does that actually make? Makes no difference whatsoever.
Only
Goals,
once,
mate.
but-
Goals.
Anyway,
Go for
we'll
it,
be
mate.
joined by Lord William from
Evening, brothers. Evening, brothers.
Hi,
Good,
William.
mate.
All right. Hey, somebody complaining about a referee, was there?
No, we don't mention referees, mate.
Oh, right. Oh, it must have been me then. Just since the game at the weekend, just unbelievable the way that Cantwell's getting all this abuse. That was a shocker of a tackle. I mean, I was watching the game, McCoy was co-commentating, and he said, "Oh, that's a harsh yellow card." I thought, you must be joking. It was an assault. It was an absolute assault. That guy's a thug and should have been off the park long before that.
He was involved in other points in the game, wasn't he?
Aye, that's what they're saying. He probably went for persistent misconduct after having received a yellow card. I mean, the tackle in Lundstrom for his first yellow, that was a shocker. And it was a cynical tackle because Lundstrom was just about to get into the penalty area. And so the guy was making sure he was taking him out of the game. But I think at the same time, he also tried to injure Lundstrom. And then he just wanted to take him down. I think he tried to injure him. I don't know if the guy's a puddle drinker, but I've got my suspicions.
I picked up on the tone of your voice, but
Aye.
It's a second yellow.
Aye, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, debate about a second yellow. Sometimes yellow cards can be harsh. Sometimes they could be. They're no harsh. The referee seen it as a second yellow. Bang, bang, bang. You're off the park. You've given the referee a decision to make. Your team's still in. Well, what was the score at the time? They were 4-2 down. It wasn't. It's agendas. Jaffa, in you come, then all there.
Aye, William. I mean, the minute you lift your arm like that, it's whether it was a soft one or whether it wasn't, Cantwell made the most of it, and I think Cantwell's entitled to do that, quite frankly. The guy lifted his arm. It's a yellow card. He's already on a yellow. Straight red, he's off. It's done. Game's over. And he's got Slattery's got he's got a bit of dig about him. He likes it nasty, doesn't he? He likes playing that. He's always done it. It's been in his game all throughout his career. Referees know that, William. I mean, he's a seasoned pro. For me, your reputation goes before you quite often.
Absolutely.
And Motherwell, let's not be kidding about it. They're a kick and rush team, aren't they? They're certainly not a footballing side. And he's instrumental in it. So for me, that's why the guy picks up probably a lot of yellow cards, and he'll always be at that part of the game. So, and he's playing against us, and I happen to agree with you, your analysation of how much water he drinks. But that's for another story. But I mean, the whole refereeing debate, William. I mean, it's Scottish football's again. It's all part of the same problem, and guys like Cantwell, not getting protected. The guy's a footballer. And it's what you get in this part of the world. It's all part of the same. It's all part of the same scene. I know it makes us sound like we're paranoid. Far from it. We're not paranoid. We all know what's going on. We know a lot of referees are handpicked for certain games. We know what's going on.
Absolutely.
We've seen it so many times, especially in recent years. Kevin Clancy's, the guy should never be a referee, and for me, it borders on. It's just blatant cheating for me.
Mm-hmm. They know who picks the referees. They know who decides who's going to referee next week and who's going to be sitting in the house, and they know who to keep happy. If they want to be making the big money and getting the big games, they know who to keep happy. They know who's running the show. Without a doubt, they know who's running the show. And, they've sold their soul to the devil with a lot of them. Well, almost a lot of them.
I didn't think the referee influenced the game that much on Saturday. I think it was. I think the calls came for VAR, which I didn't upset me too much. You could debate them all day long. So they're tight calls, but I thought it was a second booking, and off he went. All there.
And the two, I mean, the VAR, it went for both teams. It went against both teams. No, I mean, the Motherwell goals, the two of them shouldn't have stood, and the one with Sakala, maybe it shouldn't have stood, maybe it was offside. So both teams were, getting benefit and no getting a benefit at the same time. But for the Cantwell one, William, it's simple. It's simple as me. Did his arm touch his face? Did it hit his face? Aye, it did. Yellow card. Done. Finished. And all these people can abuse Cantwell all they want, but that's a fact. It's a yellow card all day long. His arm was pushed back and it pushed into the guy's face. It touched his face. That's enough to get in. Every player throughout the world now does it. But when Rangers player does it, it seems to be a big carry on. Oh, you look at the carry on, he's diving about and he's rolling about. You've not seen this for every single player practically in the leagues. It happens all the time. Why is it such a big deal now? That's what I say to them. But again, you know, at the end there is Cantwell's a player, so the media will start digging him now. That's it. They've done with Alfie when he came for. Recognise he's a player, start digging him now. It's all the same. You know, you get a bad player, they never dig. They never no much.
Is the agenda going to drive for Alfie? And is it going to turn on Todd Cantwell? Because they recognise he's a decent player, will it?
Aye, absolutely. He'll be a target. I mean, he reminds me a wee bit like Grealish, you know, in Man City. You know, he'll take the ball, he'll carry the ball, and he'll beat players, and he'll make things happen. And that's the kind of player they want to stop. You know, he's an out-and-out ball player. And he's a guy that goes onto the pitch, and right from the start, he wants to make things happen. He's a dangerous player to the opposition. I mean, I don't really accept that he made a meal of that. I mean, you see players that get an ankle injury, they'll put the hands on their face. They get a knee injury, they'll put the hands on their face. I mean, I think he might have got a right forearm smash to the jaw. You know, I mean, it's difficult to tell how much pressure was on it, but it's absolutely a yellow card. There's no argument. There's no argument about that. And as you say, if he's been up to things, I mean, we see a booking, we call a yellow card a booking. But years and years ago, it was renamed. They call it a caution. When you get a yellow card, it's called a caution. And a caution means a warning. And a warning, that means the next one, you're away. Now, he had plenty of chances in between, because that's what happens in Scottish football. Just a bunch of thugs.
How are you
don't get a chance to play football. It's a bunch of thugs.
How are you spelling caution, boy? On you go, Jaffa.
I agree with you, William. I don't think you can't tell whether it was a forearm smash or how much pressure was on it. It's a yellow card for me. In fact, in some cases, you see that in different leagues around Europe, there'd be a straight red card because he lifted his arm. But it's Scottish football, and I'm just
I see Jota's dives. What about Jota's blatant dives then?
Oh God!
What about the wee Japanese boy that plays up centre forward for Celtic when he runs in with his head and dives into people and then goes down holding his head?
Oh, he's
and it was trying to get players sent off, and there was absolutely it was never mentioned. Never mentioned.
When you see the stats, have you seen the stats for the yellow cards in the Premier League?
Yeah, no.
Yellow cards per foul. They only get a yellow card every 14 fouls. We're getting a yellow card about every 7 or 8, I think it is.
How is that not surprising me?
We've had 33. It's unbelievable. They've got the lowest count in the league, and most of their yellow cards are late on in the game when the game's finished. Would you believe it?
No.
The more you look into it, the more you look into it, the more you see, and the worse it gets.
I'm going to do, William, when I get time, I'm going to do an exercise on that Clancy. How many games he's ref in the last, say, 10 years? How many games he's refereed them? How many yellow cards he's actually gave them? How many red cards he's actually gave them? Because I'll tell you, that'll make horrendous reading for a referee. I'm with Jaffa. The guy's just an out-and-out cheat. He's a placement. And now they've got him in VAR and on now. And you can guarantee that any dodgy decision that he's involved in with the scum, he's fallen on their side every time, mate. No, sometimes, every time.
You just see if you go back and you look to the day we clinched 55, they were at Tannadice and they needed a draw, they needed to win. He played in 97 minutes, he was referee in their game. He played the 97th minute. I thought we can play all day until they scored. Now, if you go back and look at all his games and you tell me how many games he's done and he's played to 97 minutes, and you'll maybe not even find one. These are all the wee details. You add it all up, and this is where they give themselves away. You see? I think that they can do these things and they're clever, but you know, the stats. You look at the stats. You look at these things, and you think, oh hey, oh aye, oh, we know what's going on here, and it makes you sick.
I just think we can see through their agenda. You know, they've got placements, they've got ex-players coming out. I'm not interested, but these guys that used to play with them have got to say about our team, yeah? Correct. You know, I'm not interested, but Peter Grant, Charlie Nicholas, John Hartson, Chris Sutton, I've got to say about us. I couldn't give a jot, Jaffa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't give a jot about them. I don't read anything that they have to say. I couldn't tell you half the time what they do say. I only hear it second hand, or you pick up on it because that's part of the agenda. But I mean, what I do have a problem with, William, and I genuinely do, because I think it's you're playing with the fabric of integrity, and it's sport at the end of the day. That's right. And they're choosing. And this is the dark arts, if you want to call it, of Scottish football. There's two bits of Scottish football that nobody knows what goes on. And one is the fixture list. Nobody understands how the fixture list happens or who picks it or what. Apparently it's a computer. And the second one is referees. Who's appointing them, who's controlling them, and who's telling them what to do, and what is the recourse of actions for their errors. And there's none. There's none, right. because none of that is ever disclosed, because it's all done behind closed doors. There's nothing transparent at all about it, and that's the two areas of Scottish football that they've got total control over. And we know what's controlling it. We know who's behind it, and we know what's going on, and it's happening and it's happening in plain sight. It's happening in plain sight. We all can all see it with our eyes. Sponsors can see it. Rangers have already alluded to it when there was documents produced and what things going on and things were said behind closed doors. The relationship between our club and the SFA has never been worse. Never been worse. There's we don't communicate with them hardly. We basically get our fixture list and we get on with the game. And that's the two areas me for Scottish football that they've still got control of, and they're controlling what happens. And I'm particular, I'm alluding to somebody within the realms in there are controlling what happens with those fixture lists. Absolutely. Because they're manipulated.
Listen, the most dangerous one out of them all. The most dangerous one out of them all is that Andy Walker. He's the one with the mic, by the way. And I've asked the question, William, and I don't know the answer to it, but the question I'm asking is, the VAR mob are taking the TV pictures that we're watching, and then they're doing their jugular procreate with the lines and all that. But they're also taking the commentary. I want to know if they're taking the commentary. Because if they're taking the commentary, you've got that wee trumpet, Andy Walker, screaming down that microphone. And I mean screaming. We've all heard them doing it, especially when it's a scum game. Screaming. And they're the only club in Scotland, probably anywhere, that's got a supporter with a mic screaming into the VAR room, telling them what to do, shouting and bawling, going on and on and on and on and on. You've heard him. He goes on and on and on and on about it, and then you've gone, it's done, it's finished, move on to the game. Nope, you'll not let it go. He keeps coming back, keeps coming back, keeps coming back. That's for future reference, not, I mean, for any other referee. It's ridiculous, mate. It's absolutely cheating. It's just cheating, mate. It's not right.
I mean, they say about the computer, but I'm sitting here at a computer right now. I've had a computer for 40 years. I'll tell you something. You only get out of a computer what you put into it.
Well, that's how I get bubbles out of me.
Aye, what comes out of yours is we get 2 games in Christmas week. We get Aberdeen, we get Ross County within 2 or 3 days of each other away from home in Christmas week. That's what your supporters get. So what does that tell you?
Look at the away games we get. You get Aberdeen, you get Hibs, you get Celtic, you get Hearts. You get them all, one after the other. I can't remember what week it is it happened this season, but it's happened for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Look at the run of away games we get. All the hard games, one after the other.
The cup final, or the midweek before the cup final, we get away to Aberdeen, they're at home to St Mirren. That's what happened. This all adds up. And there's somebody sitting there, and they're manipulating all this to give them an advantage. It's all to their advantage. And you wonder, you wonder if are we still paying for ETBs or EBTs? Are we still paying for that? How long is this going to go on? Until they say, right, that's enough now. You can stop cheating. We're okay now. We've had enough tainted titles. Yeah?
No, but listen, the reason, let's be honest, some of the points you made are absolutely valid, but what I will say is, whether you like it or not, in the league this season, we've only got ourselves to blame.
Oh, aye.
We didn't beat St Mirren when we should have done. We didn't beat St Johnstone there, and we didn't beat Livingston.
Aye.
We would have been sitting in a different place. The league would have still been in our hands, Jaffa. And as much as we be on the spectrum with the officials, that's our fault. No,
that's a fact. No, that's a fact, Ox, and I've said that to you privately as well when we've been chatting. That was that period before Giovanni left the club that week, where we get beat with St Johnstone and we drew to St Mirren. That was the
and Livingston, mate.
And Livingston, 7 points we shipped. Yep, we went from 2 points behind to 9 points behind with inside a space of about 10 days. And that was that period where things were already deteriorating. So from a football perspective, you're 100% right, Ox. I know we're talking more on the kind of the periphery of Scottish football and what's going on in the background. And I know we all sing off similar hymn sheets and we can all see it. And listen, we're all well-educated human beings, I would like to think. We can all see it, this show in particular, all the callers that phone in.
The first time I've ever been called that, Albert.
I've never been called it.
No, you have tonight.
Sweeping statement.
Yes. Are you including William in that statement, Jack?
and the techie team as well.
The techie team, educated.
An old Davy.
No, I get it, but Albert, I get your points. I understand and agree with a lot of the sentiment, but ultimately in the league this year, just in the league, yeah. The
apart from
players.
2 points, I agree with you. Apart from 2 points, the ones at Hibs, that was Willie Collum that caused that. But
Yeah, I never mentioned the Hibs game, did I?
No, I know you didn't, but I'm
No.
So was it 2 points? You're right, mate. They caused it ourselves. There's nobody to blame but us. We caused it ourselves. Injuries, whatever you want to say, but we caused it ourselves.
And
the cup final, we caused that ourselves as well because we just didn't turn up, mate. Let's be honest, we just didn't turn up.
And the Hibs one, you're right. The Lundstrom sending off was ludicrous, but Alfredo was it? He gave him a decision to make.
Well, there they are. He did what that Slattery did on Saturday, and Morelos got lambasted. Not only with us, with everybody, lambasted him and all that. You got flinging his hair about, he's a maniac, blah blah blah. But he done exactly with Slattery. Slattery's got all the sympathy, saying, "Oh, that was harsh on him." It's funny how things like that. It just depends what colour of shirt you're wearing, doesn't it?
Right. Come and join us. Give your thoughts as well, right?
I'm always right.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
The referee's decision is final.
But you did say on here one night you're quite funny, and we've had no one person say you're funny. Not one. Even your boy says, "No, he's not funny."
It's because they're not used to the modern jokes. It's all the old jokes they're used to.
Right.
See, I come in with the modern jokes. I was going to ask you about Southside Super 6. How did it go into the weekend?
Now you're talking about a modern joke. Albert.
Oh, I thought you had 4 up, didn't you?
I had 4 up, but after 19 minutes, one of his selection was 2 down.
Did the Bears get skint again? Did they?
Yes.
You know something? Southside skint more Bears than the entire Cherokee Nation.
What he's saying is that if you turned up with your betting slips on Saturday night, you'll get your full refund. Southside says.
It's that bad. See, you walk into the bookies now, they've got a Southside window now. Oh, you want a Southside boys? You come out here.
I went to see his name come up in the snooker and the darts. Southside, Southside.com, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's got a rank here, like, you know, William, Southside.com.
I've doffed my hat to the big game. It's a bit of fun. He has a go. He puts himself out there. We always knew it was going to be difficult, but we didn't think it was this hard, Jaffa.
That's why the bookies are all making millions, Ox, and all his mugs keep falling for it every day of the week and every Saturday, trying to put a coup on to beat them. We've all been doing it for about 40 or 50 years.
Aye. Bit of fun, William. Bit of fun, huh?
I was watching the Wraith Rovers game. The boy and I were watching it, and I've got 3 granddaughters, and the youngest one, she says, "Papa, can you tell me, why are those boys wearing pink blouses? Why are they wearing ladies' pink blouses?" I said, "I think it's because when they get hammered at the end of the game, it'll give them something else to talk about, you know." She said, "Papa, do you think if Gary Lineker was in that team, he would refuse to wear that shirt, and then none of them would wear that shirt?" I said, "I don't know."
He's lost me all bit.
All I know is when Lineker wasn't on, it was very enjoyable. I'll tell you that match today was very, very enjoyable.
It was a great 20 minutes.
Right, where are we? Listen, William, you're a referee. VAR, right? It's a tool that should be used, isn't it? Do you think that some referees now are letting VAR make the decisions?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Referees don't want it. I said it away at the start. Referees don't want VAR because it undermines their authority. They want to be out there. They want to be the man in the middle, the man in charge. And they're out there, and they're getting some, you know, you've got Wally Collum out there, and somebody in a wee office somewhere is undermining his authority. How do you think he feels about that? And I think some of them's taking off. Sometimes they're just saying, "Oh well, tell you, I'll just let that penalty, the Kent penalty, which was an obvious penalty." And it was Robertson, I think, was the referee, never gave it. He was standing looking at it, never gave it. He was letting the VAR decide. Say, "I'll just leave it. They can make the decision." You know, he's out there getting £1,000 or whatever, and he's going to let the VAR make the decision because he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go to the chapel the following week after having given Rangers a penalty. He'll let somebody else make the decision. You know. So it's an absolute farce the way it's working. If it was worked right, it would be the greatest thing ever. But it's an absolute farce. I'm sick of hearing this. VAR can't get involved in that. VAR can't get involved in that. How no? If it's an obvious mistake, I mean, we're sitting there, we see it's an obvious mistake, and then they just say, "Oh, VAR can't get involved in that." What? How can the guy in VAR not just speak through the microphone to the referee and say, "You made a mistake, it's not a corner, it's a goal kick." So he gives the corner, the ball comes over, bang in the goal, and they've got a goal and it should have been a goal kick. And the guy in the VAR could have said, "You've made a mistake, it's a goal kick, don't give the corner." You know, why no? Let's get the decisions right the best we can.
That's a good point.
It's for us because we're sitting there, we can see what's happening. We're watching it on the telly, we can see what's happening, and we don't get the right decision, even with VAR. Crazy. I mean, these offsides, you can argue about they two at the weekend, you can argue about them all night. You know, they were so close, you can argue about them all night.
A linesman's going to struggle. There's no right or wrong for a linesman there, is there? Let's be honest.
No, it's just too tight, Ox. It really is too tight. And it's the thing is when you're on the line, see when you're on the line, and you're looking at, you're running up the line, so you're kind of sidestepping, because you want to keep facing the play. That's the best thing to do, sidestep. And you're trying to watch the line of the players, and sometimes try to watch the line of the players to an exact couple of inches, along with the exact time that the ball's played, because that's where your decision comes from. It's when the ball's played. That's the offside decision, and it's so difficult. And for the guys to get that within inches, you know, it's near impossible. So the VAR for that is ideal. But I mean, they can stick the lines on across there, do what they like, you know, on the telly. But they were so tight, the two decisions. They were so tight.
I still say, William, that the VAR's used wrong. It should be used as any part of your body onside, no offside, onside. Any part of your body onside the goal stands. Make it a positive, not a negative. But
they should go for the positive.
We're into goals. it's a 19th century rule. You're trying to shoehorn it into 21st century technology. The rule needs to change. It needs to be onside. Any part of your body that's onside, the goal stands. Then if it comes down to millimetres, it's a positive. At the moment, it's a negative. You're saying, oh, I didn't score that goal because I was a millimetre offside. No, it's wrong, mate. It's wrong. Make them onside. That's what I say. And plus, by the way, you don't find it strange that there's one club great for, 50, 60 years about conspiracies and everybody's against us and referee, and that's the only club that doesn't want VAR. It's funny that. You think with all these decisions that go against them, they would want VAR. Well, they don't want VAR because they're influencing referees at the moment, and they don't want that influence to disappear. And VAR has taken the influence away from them.
Aye. And they're saying
anyway, I've got across these gentlemen. I've got across these. We've been joined by Bob Ger. Evening, Bob Ger.
Hello.
Hi, Bob Ger.
Evening, Bob Ger.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? All right.
All right.
Having a wee discussion. Having a wee discussion about VAR here.
Yes.
They can get rid of it. They can get rid of it tomorrow for me. I wouldn't even wait till tomorrow. You know, I mean, I'm saying to you, I looked at that carry on it caused at Manchester on Sunday, and that's going to become commonplace situations like that. Christ, you score a goal, you don't even know if it's a goal or not, and everybody's standing with their hands on their laps, waiting on a referee looking at a TV monitor. Nah, that constitutes American football for me. Get rid of it. That's my take on it. I'm not a fan. I put it in our games at the start of the season, and I'm not a fan. No, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all about opinions. Bob Ger, Albert, then Jaffa.
To me?
Hi, on you go, Albert.
I'm in favour of it, but I'm not in favour of the way Scotland run it with that Fisher-Price outfit that's running our one. The ones down in England, with all the 36 cameras, they're better. And it's here to stay, Bob Ger, I think. I don't think we're going to get rid of it. I don't think anybody of an authority wants to get rid of it. So, but it's, as somebody said on here ages ago, maybe even a year ago, that it's the commercial side's no kicked in yet. Once they settle it all down, the commercial side sit down, and while you're waiting decisions, you're going to get adverts.
Albert, that's what I said right at the start.
Aye. Was it yourself, William, that said that?
Aye, I said that right at the beginning when we were talking about it as it was about to come in. I said this is designed to create stoppages, and they'll fill them with adverts and make millions.
Well, you'll get it.
It's all about.
Here's a latest bet for SouthsideSuper6.com.
And they'll all run away to the mad. They all run away to the mad Windies.
Where's the pen? Where's the pen?
Right. I don't think you're alone in that thinking, Bob Ger. I think I'm in Albert's camp. I think it's here to stay, but I don't think you're alone in that thinking, mate. So far, it's not been a great positive for the game. The way it's managed, I think, yeah.
It's still been a great success here. That's a certainty. But, nah, again, as I say, let the referee the game. That was always the way. And there's a wee bit of time added onto the game, 2 or 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes even, to constitute injuries. That's fair enough. But this is getting ridiculous. There's one game I watched one night, there was 104 minutes with Christ, because of VAR. All different decisions. I didn't moan when the big boy punched the ball in the box in Dortmund last season, right enough. Or season before last, sorry. And but I don't know. I'm afraid I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, sorry.
Anyway, we'll be joined by your Shuggy. Evening, Shuggy.
Good evening, how's everybody?
Evening, Shuggy.
Hi, Shug.
I doff my cap to you and Andy, mate. Thanks very much, mate. We really appreciate it.
Oh, no worries, mate. No worries. You're more than welcome.
What's on your mind, mate? What's on your mind?
I just think, really, 2 points, actually. I don't think we need VAR. Because I don't think it's going to be for us anyway because of the corruptness up there anyway. And the two things is, it's not really about the referees, it's about us as players and individuals. If we haven't got, and I don't believe we have at this minute in time, I don't believe we've got players strong enough to wear our shirt.
Jaffa?
You mean strong enough in character, Shug?
strong enough and mental-wise, because obviously when any pressure comes on them, they just buckle. To me, when you're wearing that shirt, you should look at that shirt and say, right, I'm wearing this great shirt, this great institution with pride, honour and dignity. And none of them seem to have that.
It's hunger, isn't it, for me, Shug? I think that's the biggest thing. I want to see them hungry for trophies and hungry for success. Ultimately, hungry for goals.
Big Stevie would be your captain then.
That's what we need to develop, and we need to install that in the team. That's what we had when we won the league a few years ago. They were hungry. The players wanted it. And I feel that we've lost our way a wee bit, Shug. But you can get that back into a team pretty quickly. And Michael Beale was there when that hunger was there. And that's what they need to get back into it. Winning mentality, hunger, I think it's the same thing, isn't it? You just want them to go out and win games and want them to go out and absolutely, I'll use a Bridgeman word here, mollocate them. Absolutely mollocate them into submission and score goals. And as I said earlier in the show there, Shug, with the quality of players that even we've got in the team just now, guys like Ryan Kent should be scoring 12, 14, 15 goals in an SPFL, and he's not doing it. And we're not getting that enough in the team. There's not enough goals in the team right now.
Aye, but like I've said before about Ryan Kent, I've watched a lot of Ryan Kent, and I mean, to be honest with you, he's no better than a low-level championship player. He's absolutely immense. I mean, you look at the teams he's played for, and he's absolutely garbage. If he can't cut it up at Rangers, he's got one hell of a massive problem.
It's his numbers, mate. His numbers are poor, He's got ability. There's no doubt he's got ability, but you're judged on the goals you make, the goals you score as a forward player, yeah?
Ah, definitely.
I mean, you might only score 3 goals all season, but if you're laying on 30 goals, all bear, everything's different for you, innit?
Oh, of course, mate. If he's a really prolific provider, you've not got any complaints, because that's mostly supposed to be mostly his job. But as Jaffa said, he should be chipping in with more goals. We all know that. They all should. Not just him, they all should. But because he's a high-profile player and he's costed a lot of money, we're expecting more out of him. I agree with you, Shuggy. What happened there?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think Shuggy came in that. I'm interested. What you making a Beale? I know I've asked you this already, Shuggy, but what you making a Beale? And I'll ask Bob J the same question. Shuggy, then Bob J.
Well, I like Beale. I like him as a manager. I'm not so sure about him as a person. I think he opens his mouth a wee bit too much and lets it too much out a little bit. But as a manager, I think he'll go on and be a top-notch manager. But if he doesn't cut it at Rangers, he'll just slide down the pan.
All right, Mike has to leave that word. Well, he was going about caution. Bob J, and you come, mate.
Well, you asked me I was asked that question last week, and you're right. With Beale, I think he's done well. The amount of games he's won, his away form's excellent. They've won every game. Played really well against the Hearts and the Hibs. To me, we've no 2 years ago when the team was good, when it won the league, there was a rhythm there. You all remember some of the football we played in Europe, some of the football we played domestically was great. Then it seemed to die under Van Bronckhorst. I hope Beale can get that back into the team, install that back into the team. Shuggy mentioned hunger and desire, and so does Bridge regularly, of course. And that's what we want. Because Christ, we're Glasgow Rangers. Who wouldn't want to play for us? Ryan Kent and Alfie and anybody else that doesn't want to play for us. Like I said last week to you, who you go, where you go. I'm only wanting people that are hungry, people that are desirable, that want to play for us. And I think Beale really, really wants to be our manager and wants to make a success of it. And I'll stick my neck out and say, aye, I think he will. I think he will eventually get there. I think once Beale gets his first trophy, then I think a few might follow.
Jaffa?
I really like Beale. I've got a lot of time for him in these early stages of his Rangers career. I think he's done a reasonable job considering what he's been up against this season. You've got to give him the next season Give them the start of the season. Let them get some more recruitment in. Listen, it's an improvement from where we were earlier in the season. That's for sure. The football's definitely better to watch. We're scoring more goals. The team look hungrier, but we've got a while to go yet. There's still another while to go before we can get that. I mean, we've got consistency, but we need to turn in better performances week in, week out. And then the players who are going to be there next season, whoever it may well be, and the players that he brings in, they've got to absolutely 100% want to win that league. That's all that matters for me. That's all that matters.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting in the summer, Shuggy, with the people who's going to leave. And we're definitely bringing some new players in. So that'll be interesting as well, mate.
Well, personally myself, I would like to play the bridge system, the 3-5-2. Because I think that would be really good. You know, I think if we had, instead of us overlapping fullbacks, let us wingers be wingers, and then play the 3 centre-halves at the back. Big, strong, physical, 3 centre-halves at the back. And then obviously your strikers, and let your wingers be the main men that go forward with the team, and the midfield. I mean, obviously, I think one should go as Lumsden, and we should look for a stronger midfielder. Surely there must be one out there that's stronger than Lumsden, because Lumsden's absolutely immense. That's just a personal opinion, but
he definitely slows the game down, yeah.
Well, he's like a car, isn't he? Let's be right, you know, it's too slow.
Definitely slows the game. He's had some tremendous performances for us, but he's had some real average performances as well, all better.
He's also real some stinkers as well. Absolute stinkers.
I was being polite.
Well, I can't be, because he's one of the guys. There's 4 of them chucked it during the games this season. And I'm sorry, I can't forget players like that. Kent chucked it, Morelos chucked it, Kamara's chucked it, and Lundstrom. I'm not saying they've chucked it in every game, but they've chucked it in parts of games, and that's not good enough for Glasgow Rangers. But to be fair to Beale, I'll give you something about Beale that nobody's been talking about. He's been dealing with these players quietly and efficiently. He's been dealing with these players, because none of these 4 players apart from Kent is a regular on that team now.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Bob, and then we'll go.
Aye, I agree with the big there that you see. I think Beale has pulled people aside and says to them, look, if you didn't want to play, if you didn't want to be here, fair enough. If you want to be here, sharpen up your attitude. And I think this is what he's maybe done. Because you can see a difference. There is a hell of a difference of what there was at the start of the season. But I just wish they would give you this habit of losing the first goal and playing inept first halves. So, I'm in Beale's camp there, you know. I think he's telling a lot of them, look, if you want to be here, fine. If you don't, still fine. It's up to you. There's definitely a change of attitude there. And you're right enough about Lundstrom and Kamara and Kent and Morelos. If their attitude doesn't change, well, there's the door, boys. See you later. We only want people who've got the hunger and the desire to make Glasgow Rangers successful.
What?
I think Beale. I think he's a good man manager. He's a good tactician. I think he set the cup final to the side. I think he's done an excellent job. And I felt when we saw the candidates for the job, I thought he was the man for the job. I think he's a really good coach. You know, he's got good experience as a coach, not at the highest level, but he's been around, you know, various parts of the world. He's been picking the brains of some of the top coaches. He's seen how they work. He's been about, especially doing an English Premier, you know, with Liverpool and stuff like that. And I think he's really done a great job. And I think he can see what a player needs, and he can work with that player and make him a better player if he's interested. But as we see, some of the guys are saying there, some of them have chucked it. Kamara's definitely chucked it. Absolutely chucked it. I was a wee bit surprised because at the Old Firm game, I blamed him for the equalising goal because he stood at the edge of the area and he watched that Kyogo run into the area to get that goal, and he never ran across at all. Never ran into Markham. And then they come out and he was selected for the cup final. I thought, oh no. But then we don't know what injuries there are. Maybe he just had to put Kamara in. We just don't know. But I'm delighted with Beale. Aye. Absolutely delighted. I mean, look at the goals. I know there's a lot of chances we're not taking. We're scoring a lot of goals. And I think, I was speaking to my son about this, and he's a stats guy, and he's into the stats. And he said, our stats in Europe, some of our stats are the best in Europe. European football. Right up there.
But we're scoring goals and we're playing decent away from home, Albert. We haven't been great at Ibrox domestically.
I'll tell you what they're doing, and nobody's picked up with the Rangers team. They're giving all the Rangers fans a big chance to make a few bob, because they're letting every team we play score first. So if you bet against and say who scores first in our games, you're making a absolute fortune.
Southside's no picked up in that.
Southside team do that every week.
So imagine if you did all the games and you did took money on it, you'd be a fortune, no. Anyway, what was your question? I lost the track. What was your question?
Forgot. Where were we? Remind me, Jaffa.
We were talking about Michael Beale and his report card so far.
Aye.
Well, 7 out of 10, isn't it? 7 out of 10 for me, anyway.
Here. Right, okay. Shuggy, just quickly, mate. I know you like the tactical side of the game. If you had to go out and buy 2 players tomorrow, what positions would it be for you?
Can you just repeat that, please? I didn't quite hear that.
If you were in charge tomorrow and had to buy 2 players, then what positions would it be? Only 2.
Centre midfield and centre forward.
All right. You're thinking, Bob, yeah?
Well, I don't know. There's maybe several positions with me, but one you're on about Lundstrom there. I think he can be replaced. Definitely a central midfielder, and one that's going to perform consistently every week, of course. And a striker. We need a sort of a 25, 26 goal striker. That would definitely get the attitude right in there as well.
Wally?
A goalkeeper and a striker. But I'm not forgiving Ryan Jack in our contract. He just wants to play for Scotland. We don't see him for weeks. We see him in bits and pieces. He turns up, plays a great game against Hibs, and then the next thing you know, there's a Scotland squad getting announced. Oh, there you go. There's a coincidence.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when he comes back. Same question, your good self, Jaffa, before we go.
I would probably go with the centre mid, and probably centre forward as well would be my 2 positions I would concentrate on. I think they will get a goalkeeper, but I wouldn't. It's a priority, but I don't think that'll be the big signing. I think the money will be spent in the engine room.
Albert?
Goalkeeper, mate.
2?
And a goalkeeper.
I get your rushing up. Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time in the evening. Wally, good to hear from you, mate. Last word.
Aye, cheers. Thanks for taking my call. It was a great discussion tonight. I listen to the show every night. Great show. You're doing a great job, guys.
No,
cheers,
thanks a lot, mate. Bob, Jer.
Always a great show. Rangers Radio. My second love in life. My first love, Rangers Radio. Thanks for having me on, guys. Great discussion tonight. We will follow on. See you later.
Cheers. Shuggy.
Thanks for having me on. A great show as always, and always proud to be a Rangers supporter.
Well said, mate. Well said. Jaffa.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Ox. Great show as usual. I've been on Rangers Radio, and just once again, can't tell you how much I love hearing Bob Jer back on the show. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
I don't think you're alone with that one, Jaffa. It was sadly missed. Albert.
Thanks for having me on, mate. Great being on with Jaffa. Enjoyed that. Nice to see you back, Bob Jer. Hope it continues, mate. Keep phoning in. and all the best for the future.
Just
He's all
remember.
sound like my ex-wife. He's all sound like my ex-wife.
No, Bob Chair, we like
They
you.
more lad.
Listen, just if you want to get in contact with me to do, there's still a couple of tickets left at RangersRadio@gmail.com, and we'll send you the details and tell you what's happening. That's doing this Saturday. Okay, listen, thanks to Davey for Corby, Willie, Chug, and of course the one and only Bob J. Jeff and Albert for doing the show, Fox and Old School Blood for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blood.
Rangers,